found the studio for us today. How about that? And he says hello. Drew, welcome. How are you today, okay?
Pretty good, Chris. How you doing?
Good to have you with us. Listen, boy, the Tigers, they didn't let Seattle or Toronto get too close. They went right after it here, and they got this deal done with Victor Martinez. Was there any anxious moments in the last 72 hours that Victor actually could leave Detroit and go somewhere in free agency?
Not really. There was a lot of talk that there'd be some teams out there that might be willing to offer him as much as $80 million over 4 years. But you have to understand that Victor is very happy with the Detroit Tigers. He has a great relationship with ownership in Mike Ilitch. And I don't think there is one doubt in Detroit that if Mike Ilitch gave the green light, do whatever has to be done to bring back Victor Martinez, he was going to do that. He has a lot of respect for Victor as a professional, as a tremendous ball player. But what he brings to this clubhouse is essential. He's a tremendous cleanup hitter, but you have to have him in there to try to maximize Miguel Cabrera's effectiveness, because he's the only player in that Tiger clubhouse who can get Miguel Cabrera's face if Miguel starts acting a little goofy at times and tell him you can't do that. So it's important that they had him back in this organization.
All right, that's number one. Number two is Scherzer. I mean, is the ship completely sailed? Is there any way in your eyes that Scherzer could end up back with the Tigers, or is he gone?
I think he's gone. There's always a chance that Mike Ilitch tells Dave Dombrowski, okay, he wants 7 years, a 7-year deal at 27 a year. You know what? If Mike Ilitch wants to do that, it will get done. I just don't see that happening. I do think Scherzer wants to find a team that has its spring training in Arizona close to his home, so that then you're looking at the Cubs, the Dodgers, teams like that who wouldn't be averse to paying that type of cash for a guy 2 years removed from the Cy Young.
Wow, interesting. So Arizona's, I didn't sense that, so that's a factor here. All right, that's number two. Number three, Tigers just basically, they picked up the option on Soria, and Nathan's got $10 million coming to him. So the Tigers have $17.5 million wrapped up in a bullpen that can't get anybody out. How about that, Drew?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and Dave Dombrowski said that when he listened to priorities in the offseason, the bullpen was number 3. And that irritated a lot of people in Detroit, because they still remember that game 2, that 8th inning in Baltimore in the playoffs, where everything just imploded. Look, they were going to bring back Soria because they gave up 2 premium prospects for him at the trading deadline last summer, so he wasn't going anywhere. Nathan was okay in the last couple months of the season. They're hoping that they can add one piece, perhaps through free agency, but they're going to be counting heavily on some of the young power arms they have in A-ball and double-A ball, and that if they can take care of some of their control issues in spring training, they might be able to count on 1 or 2 of those guys. And then the wild card in all this, Chris, is Bruce Rondon. People forget that when he blew out his elbow last year, that was the single biggest thing that turned this season around for the Detroit Tigers, because they were unable to replace that type of strikeout stuff. It killed the bullpen.
Yeah, they've had a couple of Zamora. Another a long time ago had the same issues. They've lost a couple of those guys.
Zamaya, yeah.
Zamaya.
Right. I mean, you look at Kansas City, they had those guys, and when you lost Rondon, that was a big loss for the Tigers.
All right, now listen, they're older. We all know they need to win for the owner. We get that, but they have a lot of older guys on that team. Hunter's going to leave, but he's old. Rajah Davis isn't young. Kinsler's 32 years of age. Cabrera, Victor Martinez. A lot of age on this ball club. Is there any feeling at all in the next 3 months or 2 months that they will look to get younger in some categories here?
Well, you did. The trade they got for Anthony Gose last night. 24 years old. He really hasn't emerged. He hasn't done that much, but he's a plus defensive player. Add some speed. He's probably going to be the everyday center fielder. He's only 24 years old. Nick Castellanos, who I thought played very well in the second half of his rookie season. He's only 21, 22. You're going to start to see them add some younger pieces, cheaper pieces into this puzzle, because even though Mike Ilitch likes to spend money, they can't afford a budget the same as the Yankees or the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, Anthony Gose, though, my gosh, I got to see that to believe it. Is Hunter definitely gone in right field? What's up with him?
Yeah, I think it looks like he's gone. What they're probably going to do is move J.D. Martinez, who one of the biggest surprises in all of MLB last year. He's probably going to be in right field. Gose will be the center fielder, and maybe you put Rajah as your everyday left fielder. I still think they need to get another bat. There's been a lot of talk recently about a Melky Cabrera, perhaps them bringing him in, because one thing this team really lacked, and we saw this in the playoffs, is that they had a lack of bench punch. That killed them. We saw that in the Baltimore series, that if they think they're done by just adding Ghosts and moving Rajai Davis to left field, they got another thing coming. They have to add another bat.
Yeah, they do. And you're right. They ran into some major trouble here. How about the after effect, the hangover of losing 3 straight to the Orioles off all these playoff disappointments? How much is that taken out of it as far as a Tiger fan is concerned, Drew?
Well, the Tiger fans are upset, because they were expecting at the very least an American League pennant this year. But this is still a team that feels it can win a championship in 2015. And looking at some of the moves that they've made, it kind of suggests that. They gave up their number 1 prospect in Devin Travis for Anthony Ghost. So they still feel that if Mickey Cabrera and Justin Verlander return to full health, then that'll be a good starting point for this team in 2015.
Excellent job, Drew. Thanks for getting to our studio. We appreciate it today. Keep up the good work.
Right. Thank you.
Very good with Drew Sharp. Nice to have him with us.